Bob here. So today, this video is just a simple oil change, blade sharpening, probably an air filter, and we've got to do a little work on this oil filler tube here. When you try to take the cap off, the whole thing screws out, and there's some kind of lock washer or something down here. We're gonna have to fix that up. Anyway, just a simple video on basic tune-up on an HRR 216. If you're interested, stay tuned. We'll get right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we want to do is drain all the oil out of it. And to do that properly, you need to crank it up and let it run for just a few minutes to warm up. It'll make the oil come out a little easier. Let's give her a pull. I ran it already, I was just demonstrating, but we've got to fix this oil drain tube here. Notice how it just screws all the way out. It's kind of crazy. And that oil is a little dirty. So, just for changing purposes, I'm going to try to, I can't even get that off. So we're just going to dump it like it is and address this problem in a minute. So you get your little drain bucket here. Try not to make too big a mess. And I have made a big mess. Anyway, you guys get the idea. If that tube had been on there, it'd been a little bit less messy. So we're going to let that drain for a little while and we'll be back. So while that oil is draining out, it's a good time to go ahead and take your blades off. So I don't want to break out my impact and start up the compressor too early this morning. So I just got the old-fashioned way. We'll take us a little block and put under here and lock that blade down. And go ahead and undo your spark plug boot so there's no chance of this engine cranking up and you cutting some fingers off. I saw a guy last night on a live stream and he's just recovering. He lost the tips of his fingers, and so not on a lawnmower blade, I don't think. But anyway, so I got my little breaker bar. It's a 14mm socket, and I've already loosened them up. But just get you a piece of wood or something and put it in there, and you don't have to have an impact to do these jobs. You can do this at home in your driveway. Just some simple stuff. And on these Hondas, there's 2 bolts, one on each side that come out, and then your blades will come off. You have what they call an upper and a lower blade, and just kind of keep in mind which one goes where. But you can tell the big blade always goes on the bottom, and I'll show you. I think this top blade's called a mulching blade. That's what Honda likes to call it. So you got your bolt and a washer. Bolt and a washer. And then they go together just like that. So that's your mulching blade. Now these aren't too bad. We're going to just sharpen them up. We're not going to change them out. And we'll move on. The blades are off and you got the oil drain and it's flipped up on its sides. It's a good time to clean all this grass out from in here that builds up on these Hondas. It just piles in there. A lot of it's from cutting wet grass, but you can see all this that came out of there, and that just came out from in here around this transmission. So you need to periodically clean this stuff, because that's what might make your belt jump off for some reason or another, or extra wear and tear on your lawnmower. And it's a good idea to scrape this grass out of here. So we're going to get the blower and blow all this off before we put the blades back on. Clean it up nice for them. But yeah, look at all that. So as you may have noticed before, when we were trying to take the oil dipstick out, this whole thing screwed out. Well, the reason is because on these Honda mowers it has a clip that goes on here first. You got, actually on this oil tube there's an O-ring on the bottom, and then you got this locking clip in, and what it's got is two flanges on each side. So you bend these two flanges down, right, and it's got a clip on the front with a little nub sticking out that holds that in place. So you put that on there with these down, then you tighten up your oil filler tube, and then you bend these two sides back up to hold this in place. It's got like a 5-sided or a hexagon shape, so you just, and then you bend those back, and all I did was put it back on there and then took me some channel locks and locked that back into place, and now you got that problem fixed. So I'll take you off the tripod and show you a little better view. So you see how it locks on there like that, and then on each side there's a, and that holds that filler tube in place. And while we got you here, this is the oil that came out. You can see it's all nasty. It needed changing for sure. And I like to get me a measuring cup. This one holds about a little over a half a quart of oil. So right now I've got about, I don't know, 14 ounces, 15 ounces in here. And we're going to put that in and see, you know, how close we are, and then go from there. So we got our blade sharpening. I just used an angle grinder. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just buy you some new blades, or maybe take them to a shop somewhere and they'll charge you $5 or $10 to sharpen for you. Inspect the belt on your transmission. This is a relatively new belt, so we're good to go there. We're going to flip it back over and put the oil in it and address some other issues. So we pulled the spark plug out, and these Hondas use this is an NGK plug. It's a BPR5 ES, and this is the old plug. It doesn't look that bad. It's got a nice little tan color to it, but we're going to go ahead and throw a new plug in it for him. And then the only other thing, we're going to check the air filter, and you just pop this cover off. Ooh, look there, full of grass. So even though this air filter doesn't look too bad, he did pay for a service. So we're going to put a new air filter in. And I wanted to take time to thank the people over at Hipa360.com. They sent me some air filters to try out. I'll give you the Honda replacement part number, but you can get these from Hipa at the Hipa store. Pretty similar. Looks like it's a good design, so that's what we're going to go with. Once again, thanks for Hipa sending me these. And they're going to be doing a new launch on their website coming in April, and I'll be doing a video on that soon. Anyway, we'll get all this together. We're going to fire it up. Guys, here we go. That's it. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, leave me some comments. Like I said, we'll be doing a Hipa their new website launch coming up sometime in April, I believe. Anyway, thanks again. So you know how to tune up your Honda Lawnmower now. Jungle Bob out.